Hello, Brobs. I'm back with more books. A bevy of books. This first one wasn't the first one I found. Nice glare underneath this thing. This first book I present to you because it has some special meaning attached to it. Single Shavers and Berry Pickers by Oliver Raymond. No, not because of Jen C. Sanders, though I'm appreciative that she was in the book. But because this book about Sanilac County, I believe is what it's about. The lower half appears in the shape of a mitten. Draw a line from the southern tip of Saginaw Bay to the southern tip of Lake Huron. All that territory north of this line comprises the counties of Sanilac, Huron, and Tuscola. Is called the Thumb. This narrative concerns the exploration, clearing, and settling of the Thumb. The Thumb. But within this Thumb is a little town called Forester. And that's where, as you'll see from this letter, is where seances occurred at the cemetery in 1988. And they were conducted by none other than Gundella. I've researched Gundella for 13 or 14 years now. Since 2009, since hearing about her on Coast to Coast AM, because George Norrie was from Detroit, and he knew who she was, and I think he interviewed her. But this is a letter. When I found it, when I realized it was in the back of the book, I gave an audible "what?" because that's amazing. Anyway, the records show that Minnie Quay is a girl who's said to have drowned in Lake Huron while awaiting her lover, or her lover had supposedly was a shipman. She was like 16, and her lover supposedly had a seaman, had abandoned her, and she leapt into the Lake Huron and died, drowned. But according to that letter, the guy says that Minnie Quay died in the influenza outbreak of 1878, I think. 1876 at the age of 16. But there's been legends of Minnie Quay's ghost at the cemetery for years, which isn't to say that that letter or even a record would stop people from saying that her ghost was to be seen. But anyway, that's that. And the really important portion of this story is that Gundella, who was known as Marion Kuklo, born Marion Clark in 1930 in Tawas, Michigan, is that while on her deathbed, she was writing a historical novel on Minnie Quay. And that's why she had been researching her for the last 5 to 10 years of her life. And supposedly her daughter, who is still alive, and another daughter who is no longer alive, murdered by her witch husband, were supposed to finish the novel and publish it. Apparently the manuscript is nearly done. I'd like to get a hold of it, but her daughter is not very receptive to such meddlings, so they'll probably likely be lost, and probably all the better. Although I do believe that Marion Kuklo Gundella took the stand of that anonymous letter writer and said that she did die of influenza. At least that's what I believe she said in her few articles about it. that I have in the newspaper, which I can't remember exactly. Anyways, not to belabor the point. Nathaniel Philbrick, Mayflower, a story of courage, community, and war. You know about the Mayflower? That's when motherfuckers came over to America. Yes. Oh yeah, you like my new gossip bench? 1950s Krebs Stengel gossip bench. It's more or less a telephone bench where you sat to talk on your big fat phone like this, which I happen to have, and then there's my directory, which I happen to have, which is why I bought it. More Limericks, edited by G. Legman. And since I opened this book to a limerick about Edna St. Vincent Millay, I shall read it. That's the main reason why I bought it, but not the only. Said Edna St. Vincent Millay, as she lay in the hay all asplay, if you can make wine from these grapes, I opine, we'll stay in the barn until May. I think the irony of that is that Edna was noted for her drinking abilities, and she fell downstairs and died. Probably drunk. Possibly drunk, not probably. A Night to Remember by Walter Lord. It's about the Titanic sinking. Even though I hate the movie, Titanic with Leo and Kate, whatever her name was. God awful movie. I have started to take some interest in the sinking of the Titanic. But not that much. I think I have 2 or 3 books on the Titanic. I'm going to call it Titanic. Fuck the Titanic. Titanic. Eminent American Jews, including Robespierre Bulb, 1776 to the present. Charles A. Madison. Jews. Prominent Jews everywhere. Why'd that look like Laura Mundo? It's fucking drawing in the goddamn The Father's Plan. Maybe let's find that again. I swear that looked just like her. That's probably the fucking impetus for that drawing that's in that book. Where'd it go? I missed it. Jacob Schiff? No. He was New World Order Jekyll Island bastard. He was prominent, alright. Prominent in fucking destroying the country. Selling this out to the fucking Martians. I don't know. There it is. I swear that looks like Haim Salomon. That's a dude, though. I think it's a dude. He was in the Revolutionary War. I won't say anything bad about him. The Y Files. Is there really life after death? I believe these come from a biblical stance. It's like the religious angle. What? Oh. Coming back as a gerbil. Maybe I'm wrong about this. Anyway, I got 2 books on the Y Files. I don't know what they're about. One's about, are there really ghosts and are there really life after death? Sweeter Than Honey, Orthodox Thinking on Dogma and Truth, Peter Boutneff. About enough. Or is it about enough? It's about enough, mate. It's about enough. I've had about enough of your bullshit. I believe this is about religion. God damn this glare. How can an Orthodox Christian speak credibly about truth in a society where relativism and tolerance hold sway? And in a time when words like dogma, authority, and even Christian are scorned. I don't know, buddy. You tell me later. Elmore Leonard, I'll just do 2 books because fuck this guy. I know I have a pile of Elmore Leonard around somewhere. I remember seeing a couple over there, but I don't see them anymore. I know there's one right over there on that pile. Anyway, I've been trying to collect them because he is a local writer, and the problem though is that many of his books are yellowed and stained and smell like fucking cigarettes. Because only a cigarette smoking halfwit would read this stuff. Pronto and When the Women Come Out to Dance stories. I've seen Get Shorty and 1 or 2 of his other movies. I was not impressed. America, the Sorcerer's New Apprentice, The Rise of New Age Shamanism. Is America at the threshold of a glorious new age of enlightenment, peace, and brotherhood? Or have we as Americans in our search for higher levels of human potential open a spiritual Pandora's box? Well, as I was thinking after finding this book at whatever unknown store I found it, I think Salivating Army, I was thinking, these are the end times, but Jesus ain't coming back for you, buddy. That's the problem. This is the dumbest period in the history of humanity. Don't think otherwise. My cave. I thought it was gave my life in Vicksburg. My cave life in Vicksburg. Apparently, it's about a guy who lived in a fucking cave. At first, I thought this. Oh, it's a lady. Wow, shit. This makes it even better. Should probably be more interested in this, but I don't really give a fuck. It has been said that the peasants of the Campagna, in their semi-annual visits to the Pontine marshes, arrive piping and dancing, but it is seldom they return to sane and merry mood. About the author, when Mary Webster Loughborough arrived in Vicksburg, Mississippi on April 15, 1863, she had planned nothing more than a pleasant visit to the hill city on the Mississippi River, never suspecting that she would become an unwilling guest during the next few months, enduring danger and privation during bombardment and siege of the Confederate stronghold with monstrous iron shells. It is about the Civil War. And they lived in the hills. Crazy. Did not know that. I did not know it. The hidden staircase for Nancy Drew is what you think it is. Fodder for sales. As I have several other around that corner over there. In the darkened hallways. The Prince and the Pauper by Mark Twain. I buy this simply because I'll eventually have to read it if I ever do a story on the Prince and Pauper restaurant that was in Wayne, Michigan, where I live, and for which I write a newspaper about, even though it's more technically termed Nankin Township. The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. All 13 great stories from the PBS TV series. I like this. I love mass market paperbacks, as you can tell on the wall. And this one will add to both the Sherlock collection and the mass market paperback. The autobiography of Joseph Stalin to be exact. Doug. Thanks, Doug. 1999 by Richard Laurie. Leon Trotsky is trying to kill me. With these words, a paranoid lie, we are drawn into the mind responsible for some of the 20th century's the most outrageous crimes. We don't talk about Stalin because Stalin was supposedly our bro during World War II. Even though the same Jews that were so-called liberated by Stalin's Red Army were liberated from the concentration camps only to be raped by the Red Army. I believe that there was at least 100,000 or more rapes by the Red Army on Jews returning home from the concentration camps. Ghost stories, classic tales of horror and suspense featuring Sir Walter Scott, Nathaniel Hawthorne, Edgar Allan Poe, Charles Dickens, Ambrose Bierce, Henry James, Edith Wharton, Wilkie Collins, Emma James, Mark Twain. I don't know. That's a cool cover. I like it. Probably have the same shit written in other books that I own, but Anthony Bourdain with his god-awful earring. I mean, I don't know who started the trend of fucking 40 and 50-year-old men wearing earrings, but god damn. I'm going to say he's the antipode of, not the antipode, the twin brother of the women who started having duck lips. God damn, it's a bad look. Terrible look. I mean, he's wearing a leather coat too, so what do you expect? Still worth some money. $6 to $7, maybe 10. I'll sell it. The Love of Books, the Philobiblon of Richard DeBary. Whatever it is. It's about books. It's great. The Decameron of Boccaccio. Mary Daub. The Decameron of Boccaccio. This is the only reason I got it. Great. Illustration or wood plate, whatever it is. Not because their boobs are out, though that doesn't hurt, but I just like it. And that guy's cheeks are fucking cheeking. I don't know if there's any more illustrations. I don't know what this book's about. I've heard about it. Can't say I really know anything about it, but there was a cool thing in the back. Some straw bridge and clothing. Does it say clothing or cloth? Straw bridge and clothier. Does it say clothier? I don't know. Whatever it is. Life with God. This book I got solely for the dust jacket. If it's worth anything, that's a bonus, but I got it for the dusty. The Devil's Diary. Alfred Rosenberg and the Stolen Secrets of the Third Reich. As you can see, well, you can't really see because it's blurry as fucking hell. But if you could see, these books right here. I don't know why. Come on, focus. There you go. Those are Nazi books, and those are Abraham Lincoln books. And together, I got two more to add to that shelf, even though it's going to overflow soon. There was another copy of The Garden of Beasts by Larson, which I have up there. But since I already have one copy, I didn't buy it. Devil's Diary, Alfred Rosenberg, and the Stolen Secrets of the Third Reich, and Lincoln in the World, The Making of a Statesman and the Dawn of American Power. As I said recently, I've started to collect such books. Well, I've had Lincoln books for a while. No one ever bought them, so I guess I'm stuck with them. This next book, well, I'm looking over there on the shelf to see if I have the paperback copy of this. The Life and Adventures of a Haunted Convict, Austin Reed. I believe this is an old book of a black slave during the Civil War. That this is the earliest known prison memoir written by an African American just 1 year after the Dred Scott decision, and on the eve of the Civil War alone signifies its singular historical importance. But Austin Reed's The Life and the Adventures of a Haunted Convict does far more than challenge the timeline of the black literary tradition. Its stories are engrossing. Sounds like it. Ray Bradbury, Something Wicked This Way Comes. I've bought a copy of this recently, and I will keep buying it. So I suppose it's worth $7 or $8. I believe I actually went back to the half-off sale at that one store, the veteran store, where I found that book with the Gundella letter, and they did not have the Catholic Church in Detroit anymore, which is okay because I already had a copy. If I really wanted it, I would have got it then. Luckily, I didn't get it then, and I waited till now, or I wouldn't have found that Gundella letter. Marshall, Michigan. I'll save that story for some other year. Tidbits and Treasures by George Grice. And there's another one of those that I picked up at the thrift store. So I always pick up those. This is a teacher who worked in schools in Warren, Michigan. Pearl Lean Elementary School. So it's a local book, and hey, you never know what's in it. Never know what you'll find in it. Maybe this was the guy that wrote the fucking letter. Now that I think about it, this was very near the Gundella book. I found them together. And look, that page is folded in half, just like in that Gundella book. Not that I'm saying that this guy owned the book, but you would assume that the same person that owned this book owned that other one. Well, there's no names in there, so don't know. George Grice. This one I found at the store. I got this gossip bench at. As you can see, the autobiography of FBI Special Agent Dale Cooper. Trying to pull the sticker off, as you can see. Fuck that. Yeah, now you're gonna rip, huh? You better not rip. Don't you fucking... It's always gotta be this way, doesn't it? It's gonna come off. There, super value. I got it for even super value. 59 cent value. Same place I found the hardcover copy of Laura Palmer book. Lake Superior Country, 19th Century Travel and Tourism. Another one of these books, Michigan books. That's a great fucking photo. Dreams, Your Magic Mirror, with interpretations of Edgar Casey. One of the biggest scams that's ever existed, but I don't really care. Still give him some credit for being a fucking weirdo. And that's going to be it, I believe. Yeah. See ya.